Hello, Matt Davis here with more homework quiz help. This one is from section 8.3. Use inverse t or inverse normal together with technology or the t-table to find z of 0.01 if n equals 30 and round your answer to 3 decimal places. So first of all, in the interest of giving help rather than answers, we're going to change the question to z sub 0.005. And instead of n equals 30, we're going to switch that up as well, and we're going to use n equals 24. All right, so they give us two options, use inverse t or inverse normal with technology, which would be the TI-84 for us, and because this is z, we would use inverse normal. However, they're also giving us the option of the t-table, and that turns out to be the best option, so I'm going to show you how to do it that way. It does seem a little weird to use the t-table to find a z-score, but we will do it. And one of the things, by the way, that often causes people to go wrong when they try this is they see the sample size of 24 and they go to calculate a DF of 23. But DF is something that we use for t-scores, not for z-scores. So because this is specifically a z-score, we don't need a DF for this one. So let's go ahead and switch over to the table and see how we use the t-table to find a z-score. All right, so here's our table, and we want z of 0.05, so we're going to look in the column for t of 0.05, and if you were to take any of the numbers along here, none of those could be right because they're all t-scores. We know that because they have a DF. So what we want to do is just keep scrolling down this t of 0.05 column, and as long as we stay in the same table, none of these can be right. They're all t-scores. Even this one is still a t-score with a DF of 1,000. But if we drop down below this gap to here, now we see that these are labeled as z-scores. It says infinity or z, so it's like a DF of infinity, which becomes a z-score. So once we get down here into this bottom row, these are z-scores rather than t-scores. So we just need to make sure our column matches the subscripted area that we want, which was the 0.05 right there. And once we see that, then we just scroll all the way down past all the t-scores with their DFs and get to the separated row. That's our z-score. So there it is. Z of 0.005 is 2.576. So just switching back over here again, we'll write that answer down. So Z of 0.005 was 2.576, so that's the number that we're going to enter in to active learning. So key things to kind of notice is that the sample size was irrelevant. I changed it from 30 to 24, but it didn't matter because we're not using a DF. It doesn't make any difference. So that's one thing. There's no DF for a z-score, and that makes the sample size irrelevant when you're finding the z-score. And then the last thing is just make sure that if you're going to use the t-table, which is a good idea, you have to use the bottom row, which is separated off with that little gap. Otherwise, you're looking at a t-score. So make sure you drop all the way down to the bottom to the separated row, and that's where you find z-scores. All right. So nice and quick once you know how to do it right. So hopefully you'll head back to the quiz and have no problem. Good luck to you.